The U.S. Senate Republicans have pushed on Monday President Donald Trump's sweeping tax cut and spending bill, despite deep divisions within their own ranks over its expected $3.3 trillion impact on the national debt. A new report from the nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office warns the bill could add $800 billion more to the debt than the version passed by the House last month, pushing the overall debt past $36 trillion. Many Republicans reject that estimate, arguing that by extending these current policies, they're not going to add to the deficit. But global bond investors, they are already signaling concern, looking to reduce their exposure to U.S. Treasuries. Meanwhile, Democrats are hoping the eye-popping debt figures will rattle enough fiscally conservative Republicans to break ranks, even though the party currently controls both chambers of Congress. On Sunday, the Senate narrowly passed a procedural motion by 51-49, clearing the way for a debate on this bill.
Let's vote. This is good for America. This is good for the American people. It's good for working families. And it's been a long debate. I know people are weary. But at the end of the day, we want to get this done so that this country is safer and stronger and more prosperous, not only for today, but for future generations of Americans.
And Jessica Taneja has been following the story closely. She joins us now. Jessica, how much of a strain on the U.S. Treasury is the big, beautiful bill? And was it easy getting it, to this stage?
If you look at the net favorability rating of this bill across United States networks, or be it the Pew Research, it's somewhere close to minus 19 and goes up till minus 29. So, Mark, that doesn't give a good picture about how well this is being accepted and how difficult it has been for American lawmakers to even debate on very specific aspects of this entire big, beautiful bill that Donald Trump has put forth at the helm of affairs, and certainly would be looking for more bolster support to sort of put it back on his table as he anticipates by the 4th of July. Now, looking at the hurdles right now, as you pointed out, it was, in fact, it is facing scrutiny now, and it would need that majority in the Senate before it can be given back to the House and then again for the president's signature as he anticipates on the 4th of July. But before that, well, the discussion is going on. There are a lot of implications of this bill that are being discussed by both sides, both the Republicans as well as the Democrats, specifically on the kind of cuts it has and how it affects the American taxpayer and the ordinary individuals. To begin with, this bill, according to the Congressional Budget Office, which has made an estimate of how and an understanding analysis of how this bill would affect the American economy and would change the structure altogether in the near future. First, of course, it would leave more than 11.9 million people without health insurance. That could be a very big concern. On the other hand, a lot of people, roughly around an estimate of 70 million or more, depend on this health insurance and these health covers, which again would significantly impact them. And these points are being debated. To what effect should this be put forth in motion? And not to forget the defense budget, in which Donald Trump's big, beautiful bill plans to put aside $150, not only to build that golden dome of a defense system, but also to fund more projects and bolster defense support for Taiwan in the Indo-Pacific as well as the Taiwan Strait.
Yes, Jessica, but for a president who is always bothered about ratings, how popular is this bill? You were mentioning it doesn't seem to be very popular among the, American public as per media reports. Just put that into context for us.
Well, Mark, if you watch reports across the media from, even from other various sources, it does seem to be that it is not so widely favored by the American public. If you believe the polls, which is, of course, there is always the thin line, on how much one should believe or perceive or get an analysis from the polls. But so far, with the kind of negativity around it, with so many tax cuts for the rich, an extension of Donald Trump's previous promises during his first term as President of the United States, and a lot of other tax cuts, especially in the and especially when you talk about the cuts in medical aid. It is not very widely accepted with the American public because there is an aging population that does seem to go about its day because of certain benefits that have been in place. And let's not even forget the kind of tax breaks that were enjoyed by say companies that were manufacturing green tech or building alternative sources of energy. They also will now not benefit from that. Instead, there will be more support going in for fossil fuels and oil exploration and activities that would engineer America back on its previous era of economic reforms, and that is certainly what Donald Trump would do. But if you believe the polls and if you see the general mood, it doesn't seem to be the case that this big, beautiful bill will be an easy ascent for the president to sign on the 4th of July.
We'll leave it there. Thank you very much. Jessica Taneja reporting on that subject.